Good evening, how you doing? It's Saturday night. I've only been awake a few hours. I actually managed to sleep about 16, 17 hours last night. Had a This week of work hasn't been too bad, to be fair, but Friday was quite a long day in itself. Did about 13 hours. I think I got home about 9 o'clock in the evening and pretty much fell straight asleep. And I didn't wake up until 4 o'clock this afternoon. So I actually feel really good. I've been drinking a lot of caffeine, which probably helps. But yeah. So yeah, I was hoping to do this a little bit earlier in the day, but obviously that didn't happen, so never mind. I'm feeling good and awake and ready to go. So yeah, how are you doing? Hope you're all doing well. I figured today I would talk a little bit about the tattoos. I've been finally, well, last year, 2018, finally started getting tattooed. I've been wanting to get tattooed since I was a teenager, but it's never really been something I found that important. As far as the whole body modification thing goes, it's on the lower end of my priorities, I suppose. I'm much more interested in things that create a physical change to the body, like the stretching and the piercings and the heavy mods and that sort of thing. But yeah, I finally got started last year. I've had 2 sessions. Only one that I would really consider a real tattoo session as such. But I'll explain. So yeah, the original plan was last year. Last year I turned 30, and we had I originally had a thing booked in just to go in for an hour or so with a friend of ours he's a tattooist called Sam Rivers, works out of Curiosities in Ipswich. And I originally had it booked in with him to go down on my birthday, and for about literally just an hour or so, and tattoo both my nipples black. And that was originally to be my very first experience with tattooing. Oops, sorry, my phone's buzzing. That was to be my original experience with tattooing. Now, unfortunately, that didn't actually happen, because about a week before my birthday was when I got my first driving job. Sorry, buzzing again. Was when I got my driving job and start getting everything sorted out and starting to work for Cala Fire and Agency at the time. So unfortunately, that had to be postponed, because obviously back then that was when I was actually working with Tesco's, and pretty much as soon as I got the opportunity to start doing something better, I just left there immediately and started at Cala, where I've been ever since. But so yeah, that didn't actually happen, which I admit was a little bit disappointing. I think he was disappointed as well, because I've known him. I mean, we've known each other since we were teenagers, and I think he was excited to finally give me my first tattoo, because we'd been talking about it for years now, and that didn't happen. But it's the way thing goes. But we rescheduled it, and I think it was October. I think it was mid to late October. It might have been September. No, I'm certain it was sort of mid-October time, at the end of last year. Finally got my nipples tattooed. I'll give you a quick peek at that. Just solid black, both of them. So that was quite good fun. I hope you saw that right. That was quite good fun. It was kind of a case of jumping into the deep end. I had no idea what to expect. As I said, I had no real experience with tattoos whatsoever beforehand. I think when I was about 17, I've got my shoes on. I took a. Someone keeps messaging me. No one ever messages me. Anyway, when I was about 16, 17, I took a sewing needle and some blue ink from a pen and just made a tiny dot on one of my ankles. I can't remember which one it is, but I literally just did that just to see if it would work, and it did, and I still have a tiny blue dot on one of my ankles. But I would certainly not recommend anybody doing that. But it was literally just a little one-off experiment just to see if it would work, and apparently it works. So yeah, my first real experience with tattoos was the black nipples, which was it was really good fun. It was a fun, silly day, and I was really nervous at first, wondering how much it was going to hurt. So like I said, I had no real experience, and it wasn't too bad. I really didn't think it was. It wasn't pleasant. Don't get me wrong, but it really wasn't that bad. I thought, especially being nipples, it would be quite unpleasant. So, but no, it really wasn't that bad. But I think part of that is because I've had my nipples pierced so many times over the years. I've had them pierced and I've stretched them, and I actually had one of them ripped out at a concert once. And over the time they've just sort of thickened up, and my nipples are just basically giant lumps of scar tissue now. So I think that in a way actually helped, because I think they're a little bit numbed from all the abuse they've had over the years. But yeah, so that was a good fun experience anyway. I know Anna came with me, and she actually did take a video of one or the other being done. But I've actually never seen the video. I've just never gotten around to actually looking at it. So maybe I'll see if I can get a clip of that or something and upload it at some point. Sorry, I hope it's still in frame. Maybe I'll try and get a clip of that or something at some point and post that or something. I'm sure she's still got the video on her phone somewhere. So that'll be good fun. But yeah, I finally, after that, booked in to get some actual lots of work done. This is the first proper real session, so to speak. Obviously the black on the forearms. It's exactly the same on both forearms, more or less the same anyway. We did that in... Yeah, that was in October, like I said. Oops. Like I said, that was in October. So about 4 months ago now. And it's pretty well settled in now. I don't really get any more dry, flaky patches. There's a couple of little bits I'd like to go over. A couple of spots, I've no idea if you can see. A couple of spots on, I think, each elbow, where it just hasn't really taken the ink particularly well. And a couple of small bits, particularly on this arm. Oh, it's going to be awkward. Around there somewhere. I have no idea if you can see anything. But there's a couple of small spots there where it just didn't heal very well. And long after all the rest had more or less settled in and healed, there were a couple of little spots that were very, very flaky. And they actually, when they finally healed, they actually peeled right up and took a lot of the ink out with it. So they'll need to be touched up a little bit. But that's hardly the end of the world. It happens. But yeah, so as far as the actual shape goes, there wasn't specifically any plans, because the idea for the time being is just lots and lots of solid black everywhere. So it was just a case of getting as much done as we could in the time we had. I think altogether this only took 2.5 to 3 hours, something like that. And yeah, like I say, it was literally just a case of getting as much black as possible for the time being. I haven't got specific plans as such. Like, I don't have 100% set in mind exactly what I want to do, but it'll be, the majority of my body will just be solid black to begin with. That'll be, I guess, a little bit like an undercoat or a base coat, and then I'm gonna... something stuck in my mouth. I think my moustache got stuck in my mouth. Anyway, so that'll be the basically like an undercoat or a first layer, and then I'm going to... The plan is then to go over it with going to experiment a little bit with other colours just to see how it comes out. I'm going to put some white ink in there, probably some more black over the top in little patterns and designs and things as well. And I plan on incorporating both more tattoo ink and scars as well. When I say over the top, it's a bad term for it really, because you're not exactly tattooing over the top as such. It's more like mixing new ink in with what's already there. But anyway, that's another story for a different time. Excuse me, have a drink. So yeah, that's basically the plan. I'm more or less going to let Sam do whatever he feels like doing. He's quite a talented artist. He tends to do a lot of just heavy black stuff. There'll probably be, like I say, there'll probably be more just little gaps and things intentionally left, to more of a sort of negative space type thing. But I haven't actually got my next session booked yet. I know Anna's going into Curiosities next week, I think she said, to get some work done by another artist there, and she's gonna see if he's got any dates coming up-ish in the somewhat near future. So I'd like to get one more session before going back to Slovenia this year. So, I mean, I've still got a good 6 months for that, so fingers crossed he'll be able to put a day aside for me, and I'll get a little bit more black done. So I'd like I'd be happy just to get one more session in before we go away again. Get a little bit more black on the arms. I say eventually it'll be both of my arms 100% and my hands. And I'd like both my legs, sort of literally right from the glutes all the way down to the bottom of my feet, completely solid black. And I know when we were talking about what to do next, Sam came up with the idea of sort of having my whole chest black, and then a big black strip all the way down, right through the middle, right through literally the whole stomach, right down, solid black penis and everything. So I don't entirely know if he was being serious or if he was just joking, but if he was being serious, yeah, I'm up for that. That'll be quite a unique experience, I should imagine. So yeah, all something to look forward to. I don't know if I'll be posting a video of that, but we'll see. Maybe we can just get a face shot while it's being done, perhaps. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, there's a few other ideas I'd like to get. I have one thing I've always wanted right since I was a teenager was a big wolf on my back, just because I'm a big fan of animals in general, and dogs and wolves have always been something I've always sort of loved, and felt quite an affinity towards wolves in particular. So I'd love a full-size back piece, and I have a feeling I might go to a chap in Felixstowe for that. Works out of a place called Inspiration in Felixstowe. In Felixstowe, they do there's a couple of artists there who do some pretty incredible both wildlife and portrait tattoos. They're both very, very talented artists. So I can see myself going to one of those guys for that. And I'm very much into music. Obviously, with go to the festivals and whatnot, it sort of comes with the territory. And I currently don't play any instruments myself, but I have played bass guitar in the past, many, many years ago. But something I want to pick up and start playing is a hurdy-gurdy. I absolutely love them. I love the way they sound, I love the way they look, I just love everything about them. And it's something I've really wanted to get. I want to see if I can pick a cheap one up and start practicing and learning to play that at some point. And I think I would like to get something hurdy-gurdy related tattooed on me somewhere as well. And a few other instruments. I say, I'd probably just end up getting a collection of my favourite instruments tattooed on me. So that would be, let's say, a hurdy-gurdy would be number one. Probably get something like a violin tattooed on me as well. Bagpipes, I'm a big fan of bagpipes. I know that's one not a lot of people particularly like, but I don't know, I love them. Maybe a harpsichord thrown in there somewhere, and then something like an accordion. I don't know, to be honest, the list could probably go on and on and on. But yeah, so that's all other things to be thrown in there as well. But yeah, I think that's probably more or less it. Like I say, the vast majority of the body will just be solid black, and then go over the top with just your, to be fair, probably just your sort of more or less generic, geometric, pseudo-tribal type designs, just over the top of the black, experimenting a little bit with different colours, just to see, because I'm just kind of curious to see what can actually be done. I've had an idea of potentially using like laser removal over some black areas to give it almost a misty effect, and then to have things tattooed over the top of that as well. So that'd be interesting. Just an interesting little experiment. Plus, I've always heard that laser removal is incredibly painful, and that kind of makes me want to try it just to see what it really feels like. But so yeah, maybe that's something else to look into further down the line. So yeah, I'd love to have my entire neck solid black. My ears, what I would do with my ears. This one's the one that's been acting up a little bit. Doesn't feel too bad today actually. It's been getting better and worse all week. But the actual cut is somewhere around there. There it is. I can feel it when I pinch it. It still hasn't healed up yet. Like I say, it doesn't seem to be getting any worse, so that's a good thing. So I'll give it some more time just to see what it's trying to do. But anyway, yeah, back to the tattoos. I like the idea of basically having the entire rim of my ear and then the entire lobe all the way around solid black as well. Something's making creaking noise, I'm not sure what that is. So yeah, I'd definitely do that, and I will probably end up with a lot of my head and a lot of my face tattooed as well. I've never really liked just individual small tattoos on the face. So it's never really been something that particularly appeals to me. So again, it would probably be, if I did get anything on my face, it would probably be large blocks of either colour or black in some sort of geometric-y sort of design. But the vast majority of my tattoos will probably be done by Sam, so I'll probably just let him do more or less whatever he feels like doing as the time goes on. So yeah, that'll be also something to look forward to. And I say, I'm not in any super hurry to get covered in tattoos. I'm planning on living a good few years yet. I'm quite happy just to stick to shooting for maybe 2-3 sessions a year. And like I say, doing fairly large blocks of black like this, I'll still get covered up reasonably quickly. I mean, like I say, all of this, well, I've got my arms at the moment, that was literally probably 2.5 hours. Might have been 3 at most, but I don't even think it was 3 hours. So if at some point I can get my act together and book a full day with him, he could do a hell of a lot of solid black in a day. There's no doubt about that. And yeah, so I think that's pretty much everything. I think I pressed a button on top here just now. I'm really hoping I haven't turned you off and have to record all this again. But yeah, I say I woke up literally a few hours ago and it's pitch black already, which is a shame. I had hoped to do a little bit of cleaning up today, but I've got a big bottle of the Tesco Value energy drink. I'm going to be drinking all of this and then going crazy and doing some housework. Get as much done as I can tonight before we're going to look at wedding venues tomorrow, myself and Anna. I don't think I've actually mentioned it, we recently got engaged, so that's kind of cool. So we're now looking into all this wedding-y type stuff. We went to a wedding fair last week, and tomorrow we're actually going to view a couple of venues. So that'll be interesting. It's something I know nothing about. Weddings and that type of thing is something I know nothing about. So it'll be interesting to learn a little bit about it and see what we're going to do. I know she's loving it. She's looking at everything. I think that's all she's done for about the last 2 weeks. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, yeah. I'm now gonna go on and drink all this energy drink and then do some tidying up. Do some tidying up in here and maybe the bathroom as well. I did want to clear my animals out today, but because I woke up so late, I had to go to see my mum because my mum and I are having a trip to Devon in June, and she wanted to get a few things booked for that, so I nipped her straight over there after waking up, and then came back here to get on with housework and say hello to everybody. So yeah, hello, and yeah, goodbye, I guess. Thank you for sticking with me all the way through this video. It's been another rambly one, and yeah, I will try and post a couple of quick short videos during the week. And it's good to see you all again. Not that I can see anybody, but yeah, good to speak to you. Enjoy your weekend and goodbye for now. Ta-ra.